Hello everyone, welcome back. Have you ever noticed Google tucks their coolest AI applications out of sight? Some of them are well hidden under Google Labs. Some of them have their own websites like Notebook NLM and Opal. Like why Google? So I decided to make series of videos to explain some of the coolest AI projects from Google. Today we are kicking off things with one of their beginner-friendly applications, Google AI Studio. If you stick around for the next videos, we'll dig into their Project Mariner, Opal, Notebook NLM, Whisk, and more. But for today, let's jump into Google AI Studio. Alright, so now we are in Google AI Studio. To land on this page, you need to have a Gmail account. Once you sign up for Gmail, you can come here to aistudio.google.com and then you will land on this page. The good thing is most of these features are mostly free until you hit a certain rate limit. But Google offers very generous rate limits, so you can use most of them for free. So before jumping into these individual features, let me give you a quick walkthrough of Google AI Studio. On the left side, you will see different features. Chat is where you interact with LLM models like you do in ChatGPT. So stream is you can stream real time and then ask questions to these intelligent systems. For example, here, one of the first feature is to talk, right? So you can talk with these models in real time and model will answer questions and you can interrupt to ask follow-up questions. Webcam is where you can turn on your webcam and show Gemini what's happening around you and then ask questions about it. We will do that in a bit. Share your screen is basically you can share your screen and ask specific questions about like, okay, I'm here in this video. How can I add this animation with this image? Something like that. And then it will show you how to do that step by step. So another one is generate media. It's basically the name itself says, right? You can generate images, videos, and using their different models like VO2 and VO3 and add audio to it. You can generate videos from the images or generate videos from the text, all that stuff. Build is where you can build small web applications. This is super cool. I can't wait to show you guys how this works. All right, let's start with chat. On the right side, you can configure which model you want to talk with, right? Gemini 2.5 Pro and Flash are the most recent models and they are very powerful. I mostly use 2.5 Pro and 2.5 Flash. Here you can see how much it costs, but you don't need to worry about it because we are using the free model, right? Free version of it. And then Google basically gives generous amount of tokens every day to use it for free. And so it will show you how many tokens you used in this session. You can also analyze how many tokens it is using, depends upon the input you are giving. So temperature is basically varies from 0 to 2. 0 means very deterministic. It will give very deterministic answers, right? For example, for math questions or any related questions which has deterministic answer like coding questions or something like that. So for those kind of questions, if you put temperature 0, it will only give you deterministic answer, right? But if you increase the temperature, model will get more creative and then give creative answers. So I will usually set between 0.5 to 1. So it has like good balance of being deterministic and also being a little bit creative. And then the media resolution, you have a capability to select a low or medium mode, but mostly I use it in the default mode. So next one is thinking mode. So Gemini 2.5 Pro is by default in the thinking mode, so you can't change it. For example, if you go to Gemini 2.5 Flash, you can toggle this on. So basically what that means is when you ask questions, model will think for a bit and then answer your question instead of answering immediately. Thinking mode will be very useful, especially when you are handling complex problems or questions. Okay, let's go back to Gemini 2.5 Pro and then set thinking budget. So when you are talking with a model, you always talk in terms of tokens. You can set the thinking budget. For example, how hard you want the model to think before answering your question. If you increase this bar, it's going to think for a longer time before answering your question. That means you're spending a lot of tokens as well, right? So it's worth to increase this if you think the question you're asking is very complex, right? So I usually put it somewhere here. So it at least thinks for a bit before answering it. And then the tools is basically a little bit nerdy. So structured output is like what kind of output you're expecting from the model. It's helpful when dealing with data structures and all that. Code execution is if you ask the question, do you want the model to execute the Python code? For example, if you want to visualize something, if you give some raw data and ask Google AI Studio to, okay, go build me a pie chart or bar chart or something like that. So it'll go write the code and then build the chat for you. All right, I think that's more than enough to get started with. So starting with the chat feature, it's pretty straightforward, right? So here you can ask questions and Google AI Studio will answer ChatGPT. Hey Google, I'm introducing you to my YouTube audience. Please welcome them and say hi. I'm a large language model trained by Google, and it's a pleasure to be here. Welcome to the channel. Let's decrease the thinking budget and ask the same question. So it thought for a bit, but compared to last time, it's definitely less. But the other cool thing is when you click on these thoughts, you can read what the model is thinking. For example, when you're dealing with the complex tasks, you can actually see how the model is trying to get the answer. ChatGPT, you can upload images, record your voice, take a picture manually, and then ask questions. You can also ask questions about YouTube videos. All right, that's chat for you guys. Now let's move on to stream. So now we are in stream. Let's start with the talk feature. Hey Gemini, how's it going?
I'm doing well, thanks for asking. How about you? Everything all right on your end?
Everything is great. So I'm introducing you to my YouTube audience and say hi to them and welcome them.
Hello, everyone. It's so nice to meet you all through this channel. Welcome. I hope you find our conversations informative and engaging. Feel free to ask any questions.
So that's the tag feature, right? So we basically talk and then ask questions in real time instead of typing. I use this feature a lot here in Gemini and also in ChatGPT because I like to talk to these models instead of typing. All right, now let's move on to the webcam. All right, Gemini, what do you see in my background?
Well, I can see a picture of the Avengers behind you. And there's also another picture with a game controller on it that says Game Zone.
Awesome, thank you.
You're welcome. Is there anything else I can help you with?
Yeah, so what kind of game controller do you think it is?
Based on the image, it looks like a typical video game controller, similar to those used on various gaming systems.
So what do you think those superheroes are? Which universe are they from?
Those superheroes are from the Marvel's universe. I can see Iron Man, Captain America, Thor, Hulk, and Black Widow in the picture.
Awesome. So that's the webcam feature. And now let's move on to the share screen. Hey Google, I'm in the Google AI Studio. Could you tell me something about the settings on the right side?
Sure. On the right side of the Google AI Studio, you see various settings for the stream. You can adjust things like the voice, media resolution, and configure options like turn coverage and effective dialogue.
Awesome. Can you tell me something about effective dialogue and how it works?
Effective dialogue is a feature that lets Gemini adapt its speaking style and tone to match the input expression. It helps the conversation feel more natural and responsive to the user's mood.
All right, that's stream for you guys. Now let's move on to generate media. Hey Gemini, I want you to create an image about superheroes, of course. And I want image should have some heroes from Marvel like Hulk, Iron Man, and Thor, and heroes from DC like Flash, Batman, maybe Superman, and they are like having party together or something like that. I want it in a park environment or maybe, and then it should have a beach in the behind, and then maybe some super villains from different universe trying to attack them or something like that. Please create an image. No way, okay? I'm seeing Batman, Hulk, Flash. I'm seeing multiple Batmans, but that's fine. And then some random supervillains are trying to fight. They're in the park and there's a beach behind. Awesome. But yeah, that's how Imagine works. Now let's move on to the speech generation. All right, so we're in the generate media feature. So what I did was I selected movie script, right? So I added some random script with multiple speakers. And then of course, here on the right side, I select multi-speaker mode. And then what it's basically doing is it's figuring out the speakers and adding different voices to individual speakers, right? In this case, we have two speakers. I also selected the speaker one setting. So which voice speaker one use, which voice speaker to use and all that. And then I clicked run and it created this. Now let's see how it sounds.
Chloe, look at this. The Eiffel Tower lights up every hour at night. We have to see it from the Trocadero and then race to a Bateau Mouche for the river view. It's gonna be epic.
I saw that, Liam. It does sound spectacular. A real Parisian icon, known for its dazzling beauty and romantic atmosphere.
Wow. I wish.
But yeah, that's how basically it works. For example, for little kids, you can generate some random stories with multiple speakers and you can select different voices and ask it to generate stories. I believe most of the people are not using this feature. Highly recommended if your kid enjoys this kind of storytelling. But yeah, let's move on. All right, let's check out Lydia. Yeah, here you can select, different the kind of music you want to generate, right? For example, I want more hip hop, maybe less punchy kick. I like funk, no hip hop, probably some bossa nova, some dubstep. All right, let's generate. Let's increase this. But yeah, that's how it works. Now let's move on to Veo. So Veo is basically a video generation model from Google. They recently released Veo 3. So Veo 2 is still good, but the latest model Veo 3 can generate videos with the audio. But it seems like we don't have permission here. They have an independent video generation tool called Flow. I'm planning to make a separate video out of it in this series of videos. We're going to talk more about Veo 3 in the Flow application itself. But here, let's use Veo 2. And then you can select the aspect ratio of the video. Let's select this for now. The max duration is 8 seconds. There are different ways that you can create a video using Veo. You can construct a prompt to create the video, or you can give an image and ask Veo to animate it. So let's select the image. Hey Veo, I uploaded an image with the Hulk carrying the backpack. Could you please animate it? I want the Hulk to walk around the bed and then making some fun expressions. Let's see what it will give. Okay, it's saying it failed to generate the video. Your prompt was blocked due to safety reasons. Okay, I'm not sure what kind of safety reasons Google's talking about here, but yeah, let's try to generate the video with the text itself. Hey, create an image with a video of a solar system where there is a sun and all the planets are revolving around the sun. Maybe add the moon around the earth, and I want the animation to look more realistic. All right, please Veo, give me something. All right, it created something. Let's see. Okay, why there are two suns? Anyway, it did something, but I'm sure Veo 3 is better than this. I'm definitely looking forward to show you guys how Veo 3 works in the next video. Anyway, let's move on to the build. So build is super cool. So basically here you can describe what you want and Gemini will build the app in real time. You can also see it how it works in the Gemini itself. Let's see how it works. I wanted to build a 2D version of the Mario Kart game. Please make it visually appealing and interactive. All right. Let's build it. It's thinking, analyzing the game framework, defining the game mechanic. All right, looks like our Gemini is hustling here. All right, Gemini Kart Racer is ready. Let's start the game. So I think the red dot is me. I'm moving. Okay, cool. But I can't move left or right. You press X to eat. I eat that. And then go again. No. Well, this works for a 2D game. You know the fun part? You can share this game with the people and then they can play. All right, so I tried another one called Flashcard Generator. They're supposed to generate the flashcards, depends on the topic. Let's try. Marvel superheroes having dinner together. Well, let's see what kind of flashcards it will generate. So this is basically using Gemini 2.5 Flash to create the flashcards. Okay, so we have some flashcards here. Hulk portion size. The enormous quantity of food required to satisfy the Hulk appetite. Wakandan spice dish. A vibrant, flavorful dish brought to the dinner from the Black Panther's homeland. Guardian meal. A large tankard potent honey-based alcohol flavored by the tar at dinner. Spider-Man Dessert Quest. Peter Parker's eager search for sugary treats after the main course. Awesome, I love it. Alright, that's the Google AI Studio for you guys. Alright, I hope you guys had fun watching Google AI Studio Futures. In the next one, I'm gonna talk about some of my favorite Google AI applications which are hidden under Google AI Labs. Thank you so much for watching this far. I will see you in the next one.